Hi, it's Laura at Aquamarine18. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. Welcome or welcome back. I am here with an unboxing, which you'll know from the title of this video is for the Cosma Visions Oracle by James Eads. This is a deck that I backed on Kickstarter last year. I knew last year, being a depth year, that this would be one of the decks that I would be purchasing quite far in advance. I have been a James Eads fan for a long time. His Prisma Visions tarot was one of my first ever indie tarot deck purchases of my entire tarot reading life. I have his Light Visions tarot as well, and his Lenormand deck. So when I found out he was making an Oracle deck, I knew that it would be on my list and that I would be backing it. So I was very, very proud of myself. I got on there very early. I was refreshing my screen and managed to get an early bird for the tier of the Kickstarter that I wanted. There was a lot of tiers on this Kickstarter because there was options to get his older decks and all kinds of things. But I knew what I wanted was the Oracle deck itself, the large guidebook, which came separately, and the satchel to hold the deck, because I'd had the satchel for the Lenormand deck and really liked that. So I was in there early and I got my early bird. Great. Then James started including add-ons, and there were stretch goals that also resulted in lots of extras. The campaign went, very successfully, and the add-ons were really enticing. So my deck and book and satchel became the depth year violation box of shame. So this is a huge package that is very heavy, much bigger than my initial purchases would warrant, because I ended up adding quite a few things on. And I'm so excited, so I thought that I would share this unboxing glee with you. I haven't been doing unboxings very much lately, and that's mostly because as a viewer, I really like reviews more than I like unboxings. I really like hearing people's personal experiences working with a particular deck or a particular tool, as opposed to just, initial impressions coming out of the box. However, besides just wanting to share the joy at this amazing box of treats with you, I did have another kind of logic to choosing to share this one as an unboxing rather than a review way down the line. And the reason for that is that many of the items from the Kickstarter campaign, not all of them, but many, are going to be on sale in James Eads' shop. He's still shipping out Kickstarter orders. It was a huge campaign, but the deck itself and the book and certainly many of the other items that got added to the campaign are going to be available, and he's currently aiming for April 15th as the date for that to happen. So I'm going to put below a link to James Eads' shop. You can see the items now as a kind of coming soon, but they're just not available for purchase yet. But I figured that since, I'm sure some folks would be interested in these items and missed the campaign, that I would share them early so that, you can see them before they go on sale on April 15th. So I'm not going to do a full walkthrough of the deck. There are definitely other full walkthroughs of this deck around YouTube. I've been avoiding them since I was waiting for my own deck. But I will share the details of all of the items as I go. This package just came this morning, and it's been pouring rain, so I was really just crossing my fingers that I would be home when the package came. I'm home almost all of the time right now, but today I actually did have an outing plan, so I was just hoping it would show up early, and it showed up really, really early on the van, because that's how much this thing weighs. So, without further ado, and I was talking to some folks in a Discord about this earlier today. I don't even want to know what the shipping for this internationally would have been. But of course, since it was a Kickstarter, I paid a flat rate of shipping for just the items that I had initially backed in my early bird. So I'm pretty happy about that. This box is huge. Okay. I'm already excited. I need to hide this paper because if I put it on the floor, then Daryl and Bandit will come in and take it. Okay. So this is a pouch. Hopefully you can see the image there. I have a suspicion that I know what this goes with because this is not the satchel that goes with the deck. So we'll come back to that. One of the add-on items which I paid for. Some of the add-ons were things that you paid for, and then there's also extras, smaller extras like Bookmark and things like this that got added on as stretch goals that were free for everyone. This spread cloth I really wanted because it's a thick, it's like a vegan suede. So I wanted to get it because I have very few spread cloths, and the only ones I have are very, very thin, more silky. And this was heavy, and it's very heavy in person. So this is what the spread cloth looks like. It has different motifs from the deck around the corners, and this is a metallic gold. And then on the back is blue with the eye and the silver that is on the back of the Prisma Visions tarot, with the suits going around the outside. This is very, very nice quality. With James Eads' stuff, I'm never worried about the quality, but this is really well stitched around the edges. I'm not sure if that will come up. And it's heavy and sturdy. So this I really like, and is very different from any of the other cloths that I have. I actually only have a very, very few. And the printing is like raised. That feels really nice. Okay. Now I'm at the thank yous, the thank you items. Oh. Okay, so there's a page in here that just notes that there was an error in the Prisma Visions book, and that a paragraph was incorrectly duplicated as opposed to the paragraph that was supposed to be there. So he's just included a card meaning here on a piece of paper that was accidentally missed in the book. We have a thank you message here, which looks like a QR code. Oh, scan the QR code on the reverse side or visit the link below for an extra thank you. Okay. I've been deliberately avoiding everybody's videos about this, waiting for mine, so I don't know what that is. It's a thank you postcard, which has just a plain on the back. Okay. I'm just going to go through things in the order that they come out of the box, and then check that everything is here, I guess, later on off screen. So this is a card stand. So you could just display a card like that. And it's like etched into the wood. Very nice. And that one was, I believe that this one is actually I've got my list of goodies here up on the screen. This was actually a included one, so this wasn't something that was purchased separately. It was something that as a stretch goal we got as the campaign got very high. This is the satchel that goes with the deck. So if you got the green glyphs Lenormand, this will be familiar. It folds out, and it's like a vegan suede as well. So you have the symbol of the deck there, kind of stamped into the fabric, and then this folds out so you could do a small reading here, which is a nice thing to keep the deck in. And these, he does have these for his tarot decks as well. I don't have them. I bought the tarot decks like long before these existed, so I don't have the others, but I do know that they exist because they were offered in the campaign. I just didn't get them. One of my favorite items in this entire campaign that was a very late addition as a stretch goal is foil decorated versions of all of the previously available bonus cards in the Prisma Visions Tarot. So the Prisma Visions Tarot, one of James Eads' tarot decks, each printing comes with a 79th bonus card, and it's only unique to that printing. So, you know, if you don't have that printing, you can't get that card. Until now. We got these special foil editions of the cards. So I'll just show these ones. We have strawberries. And the foil is really cool. Strawberries. Tiny elephants. Reverie. The gift. This is the bonus card in the version of the deck that I have. The winged boar. And illumination. And I think that this is the new cardstock. I have older editions of the Light Visions and Prisma Visions that are very, very glossy. They're now available in a matte stock. I will say that I was briefly tempted to get the new stock because I really am not a fan of glossy. However, I mean, realistically, I'm happy with the deck that I have, so I'm not going to do that. But they are now available in non-glossy cardstock. Small envelope. This might be a pin. No. What is that? Stickers. So these were a sticker pack. This was a bonus, like a freebie. One of the early stretch goals was having these stickers included. And I think that every pledge got these. They're really cool. Stickers always kind of stress me out because I never know where to put them. But they're cool. Okay. Deck. The item that I went on this campaign to buy. Comes in a similar box as his other tarot decks, if you have those. I don't want to damage anything here, including my thumb. That would be bad. Okay. And again, I'm not going to walk through the whole deck because I know that there are several of those already available, but I'll show a little bit. So the back of the box, this is similar to his other decks. And the back of the box reads, The Cosma Visions Oracle, a set of cards to ease your soul. 79 card deck, illustrated by James Eads, includes a 100-page guidebook. And then there's just first edition, copyright 2020. And like his other boxes, it's a one that opens like this. The inside reads, As this oracle is told, death opens a door for a lifetime to unfold. The crow a conduit of manifested might, and the swan a siren for unconscious sight. Each bird an escort to the other plane, the soul reconnected to past lives again. And then there's just James's signature there. It comes with a little green book, which is 113 pages actually, and he thanks the Cosma Visions Oracle was made possible by 5,896 amazing Kickstarter backers in September 2020. Thank you for everything. And so a little bit about the contents of the guidebook. There's an About Cosma Visions, about the deck, and the themes. And just briefly, a sentence here. I created this oracle to tell one story of what may happen in the space between lives, reimagined on the structure of the traditional 78 card tarot. The first 22 cards of the deck, the bordered major arcana cards, explore this journey of the soul with death at the beginning of it all. The oracle starts with 5 alchemical birds. Inspired by my father in his research on mysticism, these birds are thought to be representative of the few moments after death and the journey of the soul reconnecting to itself. After the 5 birds were taken to the spirit plane, then there's the minor arcana, 56 cards that all come together to tackle living a human life on Earth. Okay, so it's going to be an interesting structure to get to know since it is an oracle, but it's also an oracle that's based on the structure of the tarot. There's a little bit about his creative process. There are some spreads here, including some suggestions for a 3-card spread, a Celtic cross, and then some original ones, the mirror arc, the life map, and a Cosma Visions regression, which is a 21 card reading. Then each card has 1 page. So here's example of 2 cards there. The majors have a description and a meaning. And the minors have the same. And then for each minor suit, there's also a description of the element and sign associations and a brief, part of a page for each suit. So that's the contents of the book. And then there's just a bit about the creator at the back. I will say, I really like the Prisma Visions Tarot small book like this. I particularly like how it talks about the wands in a Ace to 10 progression in a really, really nice way that I have not seen done equally as well really in any other book. So I'm looking forward to this one, though I was also very happy that this deck comes with the option of the larger guidebook, which I did get. And then the deck itself has this, it's interesting. It's like a dark iridescent. That's amazing. Gilding. Hopefully you can see the rainbow kind of shine there. Comes in just a plastic These backs are a lot like the tarot deck backs. They're not perfectly reversible, but they're very, very close. So you can see the eye in the center there is not perfectly reversible, but if you wanted to read with reversals, like at least for me, this would not bother me as looking non-reversible. Like to me, it looks reversible. The cardstock is again now matte. This is not the same as the Green Glyphs Lenormand. It is also not the same as the old glossy Prisma Visions and Light Visions. It's its own matte cardstock. It's good. It's sturdy feeling. It's not fingerprinty, which is great. I do find that the rose petal can be fingerprinty, especially when it's very dark background. So I do like that. And maybe I'll just show the majors and like one of each minor or something like that. So Death, the Crow, the Swan, the Peacock, the Pelican. I love pelicans. I think they're really interesting. And the Phoenix, Soulmates, the Spirit Plane, the Orbs, the Cosmic Tree, Life Map, Karma, Sacrifice, Past Lives, the Maze, the Vessel. Oh, that is beautiful. The Shore, the Veil, the Bridge, Infinite Paths, the Unknown, and for the world, Life on Earth. The bonus card is Sleeping Ships. And so folks with Prisma Visions will recognize this approach of the bordered major arcana and the borderless minors. And like his prior deck, these minors also make a panorama if you put them together. So I'm going to look forward to doing this on my floor, minding the cats. And so maybe just to look at the aces, the four suits are Embers, and we have Lotuses as a water suit. Beautiful. I'm going to go through all of these with the book. Birds. That's really interesting. Birds for the air suit. And trees for the earth. Then we have I think what would be the quartz, but they're not really named as quartz. Maybe I'll show these as well. Just, you know, we're already at 25 minutes and we're halfway through the box. Why not? So the 16 kind of face cards or person cards, which tie in with Geomancy, which was something that I was really excited about with this deck as well. The Wanderer. The Shapeshifter. The Mystic. The Protector. The Weaver. The Fighter. The Dreamer. I love this one. The Elementalist. There's a person there. Love that too. The Composer. The Romantic. I love that the Romantic is in a boat because my partner and I canoe together all the time. It's you know, I feel like the same reaction to this one as the Heart in Kim Kranz's Archetypes deck, and the Heart has two people in a canoe. I love that. The Mender. The Peacemaker. The Pathfinder. This deck is going to challenge my issue with other things where heads should be. The Entertainer. The Geomancer. And the Commander. So I'm just going to see whether they do, they seem like by the colors, yeah, so they do go with the suits, like 4 for each one. And these are called the Identities cards. The 16 identities, the book says, speak to ourselves. You are not one of these identities, but all. Some of us have more of these identities active at a single time, and others exhibit only a few. Yours may change depending on the situation, time, or place. And then it goes on to say these are the court cards transformed. So for each of those cards, there is a note of the mirror card, so which court card it goes with. So for example, the Wanderer is the Page of Wands. The Beautiful Romantic with the Boat is the Knight of Chalices. The Commander, the King of Pentacles. The Geomancer, the Queen of Pentacles, and so on. So I will be really looking forward to looking through this book to get to know this deck better. And this cardstock is fantastic. I really like this. I think that these are going to shuffle wonderfully well. I'm not going to shuffle them because I want to look through them in order. Look through all of them and lay out those panoramas first, so I'm not going to show those. So I'll put those to one side. There's still so many goodies in the box. Okay, so this was a add-on that I purchased in addition to the other things that I got. So this was not a free add-on. The Cosma Visions Oracle set of 22 art cards. And so it's, how does this box work? It's a magnet box that opens like this. And these are those major arcanas cards in a very large size. So compared to tarot size, they're very big. And I got these because I like to have a card to display for, you know, perhaps meditation or something like that. And the artwork in James Eads' work is just so detailed that I really thought that the bigger size would capture them. You could, if you wanted to, definitely shuffle these like a majors only deck. I doubt I will do that, but you absolutely could if you wanted to maybe pick one for the day kind of thing, for sure. And then on the backs there's a brief meditation for each. I'm just going to see, is it the same as the description that's in the guidebook? Just out of curiosity. It is. So the text does have the same text as what is in here, or in part. This has more, but the bit of italicized text at the beginning of each card meaning at the top is what is on the back here. These are quite thick. I didn't really get these, you know, thinking about the cardstock so much, because I knew that I would want to display them more so than shuffle them. But I'd always kind of wanted a piece of James Eads' art to display, but I've only ever had his two tarot decks before and his Lenormand deck before, so that was the appeal of these for me. And they come in a really beautiful sturdy box, which is great. I'm so happy. You know, James Eads is one of these creators that whenever he puts something out, like, I know it's going to be good. Having had his two tarot decks, even in a cardstock that is not my favorite at all, they're so well done. They're so thoughtful. The quality is excellent. You know, I will back anything he does. Oh, I have his playing cards as well. I forgot to mention those. I do have the playing card decks, oracles as well. And I love his work so much. So this is more of it than I've ever had. And I'm a little bit overwhelmed, if I'm honest. But this is amazing. Okay. Heavy. Next up, I think this accounts for half the weight of this parcel. This is the extra book, the separate guidebook. So one of the 3 items that was in my initial pledge, I knew that I wanted to get this. The Cosma Visions Oracle. A Journey Through the Space Between Lives by James Eads. And then if you flip it on the back, we have the book of Prisma Visions, an exploration of the tarot arcana. And this is by Catherine Toombs and James R. Eads. And Catherine Toombs wrote the little white books for the tarot decks. The book is edged in a kind of, it's black, but it's kind of, inconsistent. Like it gives it a bit of an antique look to it. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just the black edging on the book being a bit scuffed, but I think it looks nice the way that it is. I don't know if it's a deliberate or non-deliberate. There are, I think, 2, or maybe 1, I'm not sure, ribbon bookmarks in here. So there's a ribbon, and so you could use that really with either side of the book, I suppose. So I'm not going to go through everything in the book. Obviously, that would be a really long video. But the table of contents for the Prisma Vision side is on creating a tarot deck, getting to know the deck, conducting a reading, the major arcana, the minor arcana, the magic of wands, the ballad of chalices, the song of swords, and the rise of pentacles. So this is, I believe, the potentially same text as what is in the little white book for the tarot deck, but it has full color illustration for each card. The pages are a wee bit sticky. It also has something that would definitely not be in the little white book. It has meanings for all of the extra cards that have ever been in Prisma Vision. So all of the holographic cards that we got that are the extras from all of the prior decks have the meanings in there. And these story of making the deck is also new. And there's the images of the panoramas of the tarot decks in there. And then halfway through the book, once you finish the tarot side, you're done the tarot side of the book, because things turn upside down, because that's when it's time to flip and look at it from the oracle side. And so the table of contents for the oracle side of the book is on creating Cosma Visions, on conducting a reading, the story of the major arcana, the minor arcana, the spark of embers, the dance of lotuses, the flight of birds, the growth of trees, and the importance of being. And the importance of being will be those reimaginations of the court cards. And so again, you can probably hear the crunchy of the pages separating from each other. Again, you have the full color for each card. And I know that this one has a number of spreads in it. Yeah, spreads in it as well. And see, I haven't even seen these all laid out yet, but the panoramas of the oracle. This is just a beautiful, like the cover is really nice. It's like a truly, cloth bound. It's soft. It has a nice gold text on the spine. It weighs a ton. Gorgeous. The goodies continue. Okay. So this is a bookmark that was an add-on, I think, that everybody got included. That would be easier to open if I didn't try to open it upside down. Okay. I always wanted a metal bookmark and I never had one because I could never find one that I liked. So that's the tree with the tassel. It would probably be, I don't really have something to kind of put behind it. There we go. And I love a good bookmark because I do read a lot. Maybe this one is the pin. I know there's a pin in here somewhere. This is not the pin. This is a collector's coin. So it has the symbol for the deck on the back. Come on, camera, you can do it. And then it has, I think, a piece of the sinking ships on one side. It's nice and heavy. It feels like a really nice quality. And the coin says Cosma Visions Oracle Collector's Coin around the edges. And then the back is the logo there. I've never had a coin with any deck before, but coins are interesting as a potential casting tool as well, so that's very cool. And now this, oh nope, second last item. Here we have the pin that I had been waiting for. I knew that there was a pin in there somewhere. That's cool, right? And it has 2 buttons, so it's going to be very stable. This will be living on my tarot jacket, which only has a few pins on it so far, so that's a good addition. It's, of course, it's from the front of the deck. And the last item, which was another stretch add-on that I purchased in addition to my initial ones. Actually, I'll open this last. I'm really excited about this item. This is other very exciting item, and now I get to finally put this empty box down. I have always wanted a James Eads print. And this one is Sinking Ships, or Sleeping Ships it might be called. Ships on the Forest Floor. So this is, I think, 6x9 maybe? I'm going to need to find a frame. Very exciting. Now this box is the Geomantic Visions Geomancy coins. And this is a bit of a, I think this is a blame Kelly Fitzgerald purchase because I didn't know anything about geomancy at all until this year. I was always kind of interested in it. But then this year I took Kelly Fitzgerald's geomancy course, which I've mentioned before, and I certainly highly recommend. She has it as a playback available as well, so you can watch it at your own pace. I did it over 6 weeks. And so I learned about geomancy, and this is a set of coins that is going to be able to be used for casting geomancy readings. The back of the box here says Geomantic Visions. Geomantic Visions is a set of 20 coins created by James Eads. Within this box are 16 coins representing the geomantic figures, as well as an additional 4 coins for each of the elements, which I don't think I don't think I knew I was getting those. I think I thought it was 16. 4 coins for the elements. Also included is an 80-page guidebook on beginner geomancy. So when I mentioned before that I thought I knew what this was going to go with, this is the pouch to keep the coins in. So right now I cast geomancy with dice. There's many other tools that you can use, but these are coins specifically designed for this. So it's just in a lift-off box here. They're amazing. Okay, so this is the guidebook, Geomantic Visions. It's a black and white guidebook. Oh no, it's not. I lied. Never mind. It's not black and white because the coins are shown in kind of the color that they are. And so I mentioned each of the 16 figures that are the court cards in the deck also align with the 16 geomantic figures. So here's an example of the figure Puella going with this image here. So this is the elementalist image in the cards. So the guidebook has a page like that for each. A section on geomancy on the elements, stable versus unstable figures, favorable, mostly favorable, neutral, mostly unfavorable, and unfavorable figures sorted. I do think it depends, though, of course, on what your question was, if a figure is going to be favorable or unfavorable. And then there's a section on how to use the coins, which I will be spending some time with. A bit about Geomantic Visions. Okay, so the table of contents of the book is Geomantic Beginnings, Geomancy and the Elements, how to use the coins, the geomantic figures, that's the one page for each that I showed, traditional geomancy, astrological geomancy, continuing your journey, and bibliography. So there's a lot in here. I'm obviously a beginner when it comes to geomancy, having just done the course, but there's a lot in here in terms of how to read a chart, the house system, modes of perfecting the chart there. And then there is a short bibliography of 5 books and 2 online sources and, suggestions for learning. So this looks like a really good beginner resource, I think, which I'm happy to have in my collection because I'm slowly building a little collection of geomancy texts. I have 2 books and then I have my course material from Kelly's class, but this is a welcome addition for sure. The coins come in a box like this, so I'm not going to get them all out here, but take out the romantic, since I said I liked that one, to show how the coins look. So on the front they have an image the same as the card. So for the card the romantic, there's the figure in the boat there. And then the back says on it Tristitia, which is the geomantic figure that the romantic goes with, and then it has the geomantic figure there. And it's good because if you're a beginner, you can go by the lettering on the coin, which way it's facing, to know which way the symbol goes. Because some of the geomantic figures, like conjunctio, for example, there's conjunctio, are the same right side up and upside down, but some of them, of course, are not. So you can know by the alignment of the image and the text on the back wanting to have it be the right way up. You can know which way it goes. So like Fortuna Minor, for example. That one upside down is a different figure, but you can know that it's the right way by the text and by the image on the other side being the right way up. The element coins, I really don't think I knew about these. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, so what we have for the element coins, and I'll just show an example here for embers or for fire. Each of the element coins has one, there's the ember symbol for fire on one side, and it has two, shadow is terrible, and it has two of the same symbol, the ember symbol, on the other side. This is really good for casting geomancy, because when you look at a geomantic figure, right, let's say, I don't know, we'll pull this one. Oh, okay, Populous. Populous is not the best example, but there's Populous, the figure. Now each of the 4 rows, right, 1 row, 2, 3, 4, corresponds to a particular element, right? And each of those 4 rows could be either a single dot or a double dot. And that's where you get the 16 figures from, is all the combinations possible of single and double dots, right? So there's a couple of ways, just, you know, off the top of my head, that you could cast with these coins. You could put them into this bag and shake them up and draw one out and say, oh, okay, I got Populous, and then put it back in, shake them up, draw one out again, see which one you got, to cast your 4 figures, which when you're casting geomancy, you start with 4 figures and then working out the rest of the chart from there. Or you could lay down, you know, draw out and lay down, or cast, toss each of the 4 element coins, and as long as it didn't land on its side like this, which is quite unlikely, then you would have either a single, this is the air suit, birds, you would either end up with a single bird or a double bird, which would let you know for the air line for that figure, is the air line a single dot or a double dot. That is brilliant. I did not know that we were getting these. I don't think, unless I just completely forgot because it's been a long time since the Kickstarter. It feels like it has. It actually hasn't. James Eads is very good with timelines despite all of the shipping nonsense going on right now. Wow. This is awesome. Okay. It just took me an hour to unbox a package. That's something. So that's my unboxing of the Cosma Visions Oracle by James R. Eads, which turned into a whole lot more. I'm really looking forward to working with this deck. I'm really excited to look through all of these wonderful treats, and particularly to work with the Geomantic Vision coins. Again, I'll link below the website where you can look at the items from this campaign that are going to be up for sale. I know that they're not all going to be up for sale. I think, you know, like the collector's coin, I think, is maybe a Kickstarter only item, but a number of them will be around, including the Geomantic Vision coins and the large guidebook and so on. And there's also some items, believe it or not, there are some items from this campaign that I did not get. There are a couple of journals. I think one has prompts and one is blank. There are satchels for his older decks. There's all kinds of things anyway. So I will link below all of those items, or like where you can find in James's shop. They are still coming soon items right now, but they will be estimated right now available April 15th. So thank you so much for watching. I am going to enjoy spending some time going through these this afternoon. Have a great day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.